You're ready.
I was saying true. Everybody's looking at me like a big NASCAR backpack. Are you going? We got our rigs and everything, 600. Hey, good morning. Hey, good morning, everybody. So we're going to go ahead and open this meeting up. I'd like to now call this meeting to order for March 15th, 2024 of the APCO. If we all could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah.
I'd like to recognize our corporate partners, Motorola, AT&T, Carolina Recording Systems, Horizon Console, and Rapid Deploy. At this time, I'd like to introduce the board to you. My name is Herman Weiss. I'm your current chapter president. To my left down here, we have Christina Moore, who is immediate past president. Shante Lipscomb, first vice president. Chad Dees, second vice president. Missy Azell, secretary. Samantha Dutch is Region E. Jackie Azell is Region C. Josh Benfield is Region D. Then we have Gary Laughlin, who is our commercial partner advisor. Melanie Jones, our 911 board rep. Gerald Anderson, our executive council representative. At this time, I'd like to recognize the following group. So if I call it, please stand. Past North Carolina APCO chapter presidents.
All right.
North Carolina APCO chapter life members. APCO International senior members. APCO International life members. Registered public safety leaders, RPLs. Certified public safety executive CPs. We have the corporate partners, please stand. And if we have any first-time attendees, if you will please stand. If you remain standing for 1 second, we've got to get you. So if you'll stay standing. The minutes were posted on the website, so if I can get a motion to approve the minutes. So I have a motion. Do I have a second? All in favor? All right. Now we're going to go into our chapter reports, our commercial advisory report for Mr. Gary Laughlin.
Thank you, Herman. I want to thank all the commercial members that are here. We're excited that the conference is coming up. The committee is working hard on getting that ready for us, and look forward to seeing all of you there. I have one report this morning. I'd like to introduce Secular. Secular provides cybersecurity solutions and already has a couple of deployments in the state of North Carolina. Secular is a completely managed solution designed for public safety. Diligent US-based 24/7 SOC team and fully managed devices help take the load off of your IT team. They provide a proven process and patented technology that identifies gaps in defense and in-depth strategy, identifies threats in real time, continuously adapts to new and evolving cyber threats, leverages real-world data, passive, non-agent-based monitoring, faster deployment than most other risk management solutions, field proven in 30 states, and thought leaders for cybersecurity agencies. For more information, see Ross Blank or David McSpadden, and Ross can introduce you. Yes, sir. All right. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Gary. Next, we'll go with our compassionate care report. Christina Moore will be presenting that.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good
Good morning.
Better, thank you. So, since our last chapter meeting, on behalf of North Carolina chapter of APCO, there have been 5 cards mailed. One for when Lee Knight's father passed away, one for Dale Hall when his father passed away, one for Angie Turbeville, who was recently diagnosed with breast cancer, one to Harnett County Sheriff's Office for the tragic death of Deputy Chris Johnson, and Harnett County 911 Communications for the same incident. So those cards have been sent. If you have anything that you want to celebrate, milestones, births of babies, promotions, things like that, along with, of course, anything that you feel like we should recognize and sympathy for, please make sure that you let one of the North Carolina APCO board members know, so that way we can get a card mailed out. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, we have Christine, if you'll come up and talk on the conference committee.
He's in a meeting in the hall.
All right, we'll move right along while they're doing that. Executive council report, Daryl.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, that's a little bit. Okay, I'm the one up here with the report. Yeah, hey, fuck it up. So for our APCO Executive Council report, this information is pulled from the February communique that comes out to all ECs. And so I'll talk about a couple of things that I want to make sure that you are up on. I know that as APCO members, they sent a lot of emails out, and some of y'all I know aren't opening them. You know who you are. So a couple things under government affairs. The APCO president met with Congressman and former 911 dispatcher Dale Strong on February the 12th. And they talked about raising awareness of the issues facing the 911 community and how Congress can help address these challenges. Congressman Strong, if you didn't know, worked as a dispatcher with the Huntsville-Madison County Emergency Communications Center and currently serves as a volunteer firefighter and an EMT with the Monrovia Volunteer Fire Department. He is one of 2 members of Congress. Of all the members, he's one of 2 with experience as a 911 professional. During the meeting, President Nugent discussed the need to address health and wellness challenges in the 911 community, the changing landscape of 911 with the emergence of new technology, and the importance of properly recognizing the protective nature of the work 911 professionals perform by correctly classifying them as a protective service at the federal level. The coalition also welcomed the support from former FCC chairs. So on February 21st, the Public Safety Next Generation 911 Coalition welcomed a joint letter from former chairs of the FCC urging congressional leadership to pass legislation to support the nationwide transition of NG to NG 911. So 9 former FCC chairs, both Democratic and Republican administrations, wrote to the Senate and the House leadership explaining why federal funding is urgently needed to deploy the NG 911 nationwide. The chairs noted an estimated $15 billion with a B dollars is required, whether from federal spectrum auction revenues or any other funding source. Under spectrum management, on February 26th, the AMC hosted a webinar to discuss and explore the current state of signal booster use, applicable FCC rules, and related fire codes, root causes of current challenges, best practices for the standards, requirements, processes, and testing. And they took any ideas and outlook for the improved future. The presenter was John Foley, Managing Director, Safer Buildings Coalition, and 798 people who were registered to attend that event. Under training and certification, just to give you an update on the status of the APCO scholarship application process. I've mentioned this a couple of times, but don't be discouraged if you don't have funding and you want some of your staff or if you yourself want to take classes that are offered by APCO International through the APCO Institute. Scholarships are available. The scholarship application for the Certified Public Safety Executive CPE program did close February the 15th. All right, so they're now reviewing those applications. So if you are in this room and you put in the application, you haven't heard anything yet, don't panic, they're still reviewing things. Applications for the Registered Public Safety Leader, RPL program, are now being accepted. Well, they were accepted through March 1st. So if you put in for that, they're reviewing those and they'll get back with you on that. If you want to get a scholarship for any training that is offered, you have it through April 1st to put in an application. This is for training, this is to attend the conference. I don't know anyone that's ever been turned down for a scholarship through APCO International, so I urge you to do that. They do have some NG 911 courses scheduled. During February, if you've been looking at the emails, 2 in-person Fundamentals of Next Generation 911 courses did open for registration, and they're still open now. The NG 911 courses will be in Arlington, Texas, on May 1st through the 2nd, and Fairfax, Virginia, June 27th through the 28th. Under Communication Center and 911 Services, the APCO Consulting Services, affectionately known as ACS, has several contracts in various stages. They have a project status where they complete it for one agency. They are report writing in progress for another agency. They are preparing for travel for another agency for April of this year, and preparing for an on-site visit for another agency in May. They have 3 proposals that are under review, and ACS is working on 4 new proposal submissions. So the consulting services is really picked up through APCO International. Under our standards development, call for participation is open for the following revisions of standards until March 22. They are core competencies and minimum training standards for public safety communications quality assurance evaluators, and core competencies and minimum training standards for PSC instructor. So you can find that information available on the website at www.apcointl.org. They also have the American National Standard Institute, affectionately known as ANSI, did provide final approval for a newly revised operational standard titled Public Safety Communications Incident Handling Process, and it has been published as of March 8th. So that is also available for you to look at on the website and download. When we look at our membership numbers from the international level, they are reporting that from February 1st of 2023 to February 1st of 2024, we did see a rise in associate, full member, group full members, online members, commercial and commercial group members, for a total as of February 1st of 34,818 members. Under events and corporate outreach, plenary speakers were announced for APCO 2024, which are featured on the website. One final reminder, if you always wanted to be on an APCO International committee, Now is your chance to get on there. Through April 1st, you can go to the website, just search for committee volunteer and sign up. All the committees are listed. You can click on and read about what they do, how often they meet, what would be the requirement to be on a committee, and go through the process. They have a firm shutdown date of April the 1st. So if you really want to be on a committee, you can go ahead and put in for as many as you like, but you can only be on 2 committees at a time. They do realize that people that do this do work, all right? Mr. President, that is the end of that report. Do you want me to go straight into training? All right, all right. All right, switching to our training report. As a reminder, the North Carolina Center for Missing Persons is offering training for all agencies. The training covers the entire missing persons process, including DCI, NCIC, and missing persons alert requests. It also reviews the types of alerts and criteria for all alert types. The class is only 1 hour long. There is no cost. There is no minimum class size, and can be scheduled as far as 1 year in advance. She's not here today, but you can get up with Marissa Moyer for more information. And if you want to see me, I do have an email address for her that you can contact her directly. We've had several inquiries through the chapter about offering the APCO, CTO, and supervisor courses. And so if you're interested in this training and can be a host site, please see me while we're here after the meeting during lunchtime, and we can exchange information and talk about some dates if you'd like to host. We're looking at scheduling dates after the conclusion of our joint conference after May 12th. The 2024 Telecommunicator Training Symposium will take place this year, November 4th through the 6th at the MC Suites in Greensboro. Information regarding our call for presentations, registration, hotel reservations will be available soon, as well as pre-symposium training that will be available. All right, so some friendly reminders, everyone. Just as a reminder, effective July 1st, 2022, in this state, all telecommunicators are required to have a minimum of 40 hours of telecommunicator training. If you work in a municipality or under the direction of a sheriff, you do not get to pick your vendor. You must take the telecommunicator certification course that is offered through the North Carolina Justice Academy. All right, and you don't have to take it through the academy. You can take it if it's offered on the community college level, but that is what your staff must do. All agencies other than that can choose their vendor to do whatever they want as far as the 40 hours of telecommunicator training, but make sure that you have proof so that when the on-site visits come and they want to audit you, you can show that all your staff have had the training. Now, for those of you that must take the telecommunicator certification course, today is March the 15th. You have 9 months and 16 days. Did y'all hear me? You can have a baby. 9 months and 16 days to get your 2024 telecommunication service training completed. If you don't do this training, in-house, it's okay. You can take it. If you don't do the training in-house, you can take it, your staff can take it online through the North Carolina Justice Academy, Alabama Community College, Richmond Community College, and if I missed anybody, shout out the name and they can go and take this training. All right? Please, 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 make your staff do the training before December so that we don't get all these panic emails and phone calls. Okay, thank you. I figured I gave you a minute. All right, so please make sure that the training gets done. Now, if you're sending your staff to take this training through Richmond Community College, just want to give y'all a heads up. Every month, we offer training, and every month, I send Donna Wright a pass-fail list. There's more people on the fail list than the pass list because they are skipping an important step for Richmond Community College. I can't speak to anybody else, but for Richmond, you must do the mandatory check-in exercise that the college has set up. And that's just where you go in and they type their name, their agency, they ask a couple other questions, and then they can do the work. What we see is a lot of people do all the work and they skip that one exercise, and guess what the college does? They don't give you a certificate. And then that's when I get a phone call or an email. That's when Donna gets a phone call or an email. So please, if you're sending your staff to Richmond Community College, please tell them, make sure they do the mandatory check-in. As a person that does that class with and work with Donna Wright, I always send a reminder message, but again, it's like any other email. Some people read it, some people don't. But if you have staff that say, but I did all the work and they didn't give me a certificate, 9 times out of 10, they didn't do that one exercise and the college will not give it to them.
Society, what I would like to do those.
Same with Alamance Community College. Thank you. All right. So, couple of things. It is required, again, if you work under the direction of a sheriff or you work for a municipality, they have to take the telecommunicator certification course, which means they must take 16 hours of mandatory in-service training every year. This year, all right, there are 5 lesson plans that are mandatory, 5 of them. And then there are 1 that is a choice for the agency. And if you don't like the choice and you say, well, we don't really need that, then you pick something else and you provide that training to your staff. As long as they have the 16 hours, 5 classes of that have to be the mandatory, then you're in there. And like anything else, make sure that you have documentation. So for instance, if they're taking it through Alamance or Richmond Community College, they're going to get that certificate. Make sure that you have those copies with whoever keeps those records so that when you get audited to prove that they did the training, it's all there, all right? So that you don't get any nasty grams. If you are an instructor and you're like, where can I get the 2024 in-service? You can get it from the bookstore at the North Carolina Justice Academy. They prefer that you go to their website, which is not user-friendly, I'm going to tell you that, and order it yourself. However, you could be like me and just call and say, listen, the website said it was sold out. And she's like, but it's not. I said, well, I'm telling you what the website says, but I need this. So you can call by phone, but they really prefer for credit card and for security reasons that you make the purchase online. All right? If you can't purchase it because you don't have your own procurement card or whatever the deal is, you can go, if you're a school director, to the Justice Academy's website, sign in with your credentials as a school director, and you can download the lesson plans, PowerPoint, and handouts. The only caveat of that is the lesson plan has built-in audio files. They may not download due to server space. So it is better for you to purchase it and then you have everything that you need for the training. If you're an instructor and you do this training for your agency, please also make sure that you test out of each block of instruction. If you're working for someone through a community college, same deal. Please make sure you test out, and so you have that proof should they need it. The other thing our instructors need to do is once a year, go on the Justice Academy website training portal and do your 1 hour of in-service to maintain your general instructor certification. You don't do it, you're gonna get a nasty gram, and then they're gonna have to do all this other stuff. All you had to do was 1 hour of training. So please make sure that you do those things. It is always our chapter's goal to continue to provide quality training for our members across the state at a cost-effective rate. So if you have a training need, if you'd like to be a host for that training need, please contact me. I'm here all day, and we can set up some time to talk later and some dates. We're happy to come out. Remember, anytime after May 12th. I'm happy to take any questions, Mr. President. That is the end of this report. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Next, we'll call on Ms. Melanie Jones for the 911 board report and update.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I have several things that Pokey wanted me to share. She was not able to be with us in person today. On February the 28th, Anson County migrated to the statewide EZNet. 100% of 911 board funded PSAPs are now migrated, along with 20 EZNet partner agencies. This includes Seymour Johnson Air Force Base that interconnected on February the 15th. This is the first military installation in the state and one of only 4 in the country. A plethora of training is being offered and planned. They are currently completing a series of cybersecurity incident response plan workshops. They've had really good attendance and engagement with both PSAP and IT support services management. A workshop was held last week, one this week, and the final one will be next week. Keep an eye out for training announcements and reminders. Staff is exploring an events management application to help streamline the registration process and event administration for trainings and meetings. Approximately $486,000 was awarded for 6 fiscal year 24 and fiscal year 25 CRI proposals. The deadline for fiscal year 26 will be December the 15th of 25. Be watching for the new proposal guidance document, but start now with your project scope of work, cost, and timeline. Excuse me. Awarding funding for 15 C2C projects totaling approximately $608,000. Like the CRI, the fiscal year 26 proposal deadline will be December 24, but be working on the information. The fiscal year 25 grant workshop will be held March the 25th. This is a requirement if you plan to submit for a grant. The announcement was sent and registration is open. The application process will be posted April the 1st with a May 31st submission deadline. The 911 board approved a FirstNet wireless redundant solution offering for any board funded primary PSAP that wishes to take advantage of it. Information is posted on the website. Reach out to your regional coordinator if you have questions. National Public Safety Telecommunications Week activities have been planned. Information has been mailed out about the training days and live webcast with Ricardo Martinez. He will be with us again in person, including the one-day classes he will be teaching. Planning is underway for the August PSAP Managers Conference. This is being expanded to 3 days that will include emerging technology presentations. Information regarding registration will be forthcoming soon. PSAP assessments are going really good. They are 70% done with no deficiencies, or 70% with no deficiencies. Clemens County and Gates County are currently in the process of consolidating their 911 services. Board staff has been assisting with both counties navigating the process to accomplish them. That was all I had for my report. There are several board staff here. Do y'all have anything else to add? No. All right, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I'll call on Christine Moore to update everybody on the conference.
Thank you. All right, so our conference is coming up very quickly. It'll be May 5th through the 8th in beautiful Wilmington. Registration is open, so make sure that you go ahead and get registered. Lodging is open. I will tell you that the host hotel of the Embassy Suites is already full. So if you haven't booked your lodging, go ahead and get that done. Adam Tim will be doing our pre-conference class, and the class will be entitled Emotionally Intelligent Communication. So we're very excited to have him. If you are a decision maker for your agency, please make sure that when you register that you select the button indicating that you are a decision maker. We will be having a speed dating event in the vendor hall with our vendors, and those that are designated as decision makers will be able to attend that event. We will also be this year providing a lunch that we don't typically do, but we are going to do that in the vendor hall on Tuesday at the closing of the vendor hall. So make sure that you come and celebrate that with us as well. That is all I have right now. Does anybody have any questions about the event? All right, we look forward to seeing you all there.
Thank you, ma'am. I'll now call on Shantae Lipscomb for Treasurer's Report.
Thank you. Good morning. Currently, with all pending deposits as of today, March 15th, 2024, North Carolina APCO's main checking has $656.01. Symposium account has $4,354.32. Our scholarship account has $1,443. Backup conference account has $5,000, and money market has $120,621.08 for a total of $132,104.41. That concludes the report. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll now go into our regional ambassador reports. I'm not sure if Ms. Anna Johnson's on via Zoom. If you are, if you could unmute. All right, we'll go Region B, Marissa. If you're on Zoom. Okay, if you'll come up there and give her a report then.
Yeah, Marissa's not showing online.
Marissa just reported congratulations to Johnston County 911 for their 5th triple ACE accreditation from IAED. Johnston County 911 received their first triple ACE in 2011. They've become the 3rd center in the world to do so. They've also completed construction on their new 911 center.
Congratulations, Brett.
Congratulations. Thank you. We'll go with Region C, Jackie Ezell.
In Lewis, Brunswick County's report, they have 7 openings. Their technology report, they have 3 projects underway at this time: automatic paging system, hosted Vesta 3, and CAD to CAD projects. They wanted to congratulate Davis Clemens on recently promoted to supervisor, Jordan Gaskins, Morgan McCall, and Jamie Van Skyver as assistant supervisors, and welcome 3 new team members, Lauren, Riza, and Colleen. They want to say recognition of good job to great teamwork to all the telecommunicators and responders for some major motor vehicle accidents with fatalities they've had in the past, and to have several community outreach in schools coming up. Travis Essex with Harnett County reports they're fully staffed, at 6 people in training, all finishing up the training soon. Should be released on consoles. Requests for additional telecommunicator positions submitted this coming year. They're in the final stage of selecting a vendor for furniture and hope to have the purchase made in the next few weeks to replace the current console furniture. Looking to upgrade for their Motorola radio consoles in the coming year. And I want to especially thank you to everyone who reached out in February during the line of duty death.
All right, thank you, sir. Josh for Region D.
Good morning, everybody. I only have one this time. It's from Melanie Jones and Guilford Metro. They're reporting 7 vacancies in the communications division. She's saying that they're trying to increase the radio shop staffing to have with large BDA inspections that they're having to do. If they get the positions, she'll follow up with any job postings. And as of now, still no contract with their new CAD vendor, so they're still waiting to hear on that one.
We'll know to you tonight.
Thank you, sir. Region E, Samantha.
So I've only got one report from Scotland County. We want to congratulate Assistant Director Jonathan Lemon and Shift Supervisor John Hudson for completing the NENA CMCP course last week in Castlehane. We also have scheduled with the North Carolina Center for Missing Persons 2 training dates, April 2nd and April 4th from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the Scotland EOC in Marburg. If anyone is interested, you're more than welcome. It's also open to those who work in the field as well. We also are hosting a cybersecurity fundamentals for the ECC course. This is through APCO. This is typically something that's only online. However, the instructor for that course lives in Moore County, which is right next to us. So we have been able to contract with APCO for her to come in-house to teach that course. We do have 5 openings that are available for $266. If anyone is interested, I can send you the link to register, and that is a 911 board allowable expense. That will be May 14th from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at our EOC in Marburg.
Thank you, ma'am. So a membership update, right now, we've got 1,760 members. So far this year, we've gotten 117 new members. One thing I wanted to let everybody know is the 2024 award nominations are open right now. They will close on Friday, March the 22nd at 11:59. The categories are telecommunicator of the year, communications trainer of the year, communications team of the year, communications support personnel, communications supervisor, communications director, radio technologist, and communications informational and technologist of the year. If you've got somebody that you want to go ahead and nominate, please go ahead and do that before next Friday, before 11:59. One other thing I wanted to talk about before I turn it over to Christine for the elections. We asked this last meeting was that we would like to form a audit committee. If you are interested in serving on a audit committee for the APCO chapter, please let one of the officers know. We'd like to go ahead and get that audit committee formed and get things going. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Christina Moore for the elections.
Hey, Christine, when they do the virtual, just come over here and so they can hear it.
Okay.
To the microphone.
So I'm very excited to say that we have some amazing candidates for our positions on the North Carolina APCO board this year. We will do our candidates for treasurer first, and the first will be Ms. Dawn Anderson.
Good morning, can everyone hear me?
You'll have to use the microphone.
Good try. Good morning, everyone. My name is Dawn Anderson. I stand before you today with a deep sense of humility and commitment as I express my desire to run for treasurer. It has been a privilege to be a member of this esteemed organization for the past and current 4 years. And I believe that my experience and pledged dedication make me well suited for this important role. For over a decade, I have served in the field of law enforcement, accumulating a wealth of knowledge and experience. This background equips me with a unique perspective that aligns with the values and purpose of the North Carolina APCO. I have witnessed firsthand the challenges and opportunities faced by our community, and I'm eager to be a catalyst to the ongoing success of our organization. In taking on the role of treasurer, I bring with me not only my organizational skills, but also over 10 years of experience in attention to detail, financial literacy, and accurate record keeping for an organization. Financial stewardship is a critical aspect of any organization, and my goal is to ensure that we continue to thrive financially, allowing us to continue our important work and initiatives. My commitment to a growth mindset and the importance of continued learning align perfectly with the values of our organization. As treasurer, I will actively seek opportunities to enhance my financial knowledge by staying informed about the latest trends and the best practices in financial management. In closing, I am excited about the prospect of serving as your treasurer. I am confident that my experience, values, and dedication will contribute to the continued success and growth of our organization. I am ready to take on the responsibilities that come with this position and to work collaboratively with all of you to ensure the prosperity of the North Carolina APCO.
Our second candidate for treasurer, Ms. Tara Willis.
Hey, Dawn, I don't know how I'm supposed to follow that. I am Sierra Whitus. I've been in emergency communications since 2009. I've been a member of APCO since I moved down to North Carolina in 2015 when I was working with Durham City. While I was there, I earned my master's in emergency management. So I went to do that for a couple of years full time. And now I'm back in emergency communications. I manage the center at RDU.
I'm currently obtaining my RPL on course 3, and my service project is getting our training program certified through APCO. I'm also earning my PhD in organizational development change. So my plan is to use that experience along with my education to further just grow our industry. We all know we have culture issues a lot of times, and so that's what my dissertation work is, improving the culture of 911 centers. I'm excited about the opportunity to work with you guys to continue to grow what we're doing here in North Carolina.
And now for Region C, Jackie Zell.
Good morning, my name is Jackie Zell. I'm the director of Pender 911 Center, Pender County. I've been associated with the Pender County Sheriff's Department since 1991. I'm currently retired as a telecommunicator. I've been in the telecommunicator position, supervisor position, assistant director, and I'm finally at the director level. Hopefully, in the next year before retirement, my goal is to get RPL and EMP. That's my goal, is just to say that I've done it. I volunteer with Union Rescue Squad in my home community of Willard. I've been a volunteer for 32 years. I still volunteer once a week, a 12-hour shift at night on the ambulance, and also the treasurer for the rescue squad. On my spare time, I spend time with my nieces, nephews, and my parents.
And our candidate for Region A is online, so I will walk towards Stephen. That's Ruth Barefoot.
Good morning. My name's Ruth Barefoot, and I'm employed with Pasquotank Camden Central Communications in Elizabeth City. I began my career in Williamsburg, Virginia in 2000 with the Williamsburg Police Department Communications Division. After I got married, I relocated to North Carolina and I started working with Currituck Communications in 2005. While at Currituck, I did advance to training officer before leaving in 2018 to come to my hometown in Elizabeth City to work for Pasquotank Camden Communications. And in 2023, I decided to try something different and went out with the travel dispatch that they have going now. And that was not a good fit for me. Thankfully, they had a position here at Pasquotank that I was able to come back to. So I am back at Pasquotank working night shift and loving it. With 24 years experience, I hope to be a part of 911 for a very long time still, be a part of positive changes, and if given the opportunity, being able to work with the Region A counties and celebrate their accomplishments and help them in the time of need. And I thank you for giving me the opportunity to run.
So we have 4 candidates for second vice president. This is very exciting to have so many well-qualified applicants and nominees for this position. So without further ado, our first nominee will be Jacob Butcher.
Hey, good morning. My name is Jacob Butcher. I'm currently the Assistant Director for the Raleigh-Wake Emergency Communications Center. Although I'm new to the area here in North Carolina, I just came down here last fall. With the transfer, I come with nearly 20 years experience in the emergency communications field. I got an early start thinking I get a leg up on retirement, but figured out that that locked me into about 10 years of additional work in the field. So with that being said, I'm looking at getting on the ground, getting a running start. Qualifications include completion of the CMCP program, the EMP certification, crisis negotiation certifications, RPL program. I served at my last state on 3 boards for the governor. I co-chaired and chaired the 911 Dispatch Consolidation Board, as well as the State 911 Board for the state of Alaska. I like to fill my spare time with just progressing the profession, the technology, the education. I'm a big proponent for public education as well as legislative education on the topics here. I've attended the 911 Goes to Washington event, I believe 2 or 3 years in a row here. Had the pleasure of serving with many of these fine people in the room and at the table here this last month. And I just want to do everything that I can in my power to continue progressing the profession and elevating it to the recognition and respect that it really deserves. Look forward to being able to participate and work in as much of a productive and cohesive manner as I can. Thank you.
Our second nominee for second vice president is Josh Benfield.
Good morning again, everybody. Again, I'm Josh Benfield, running for second vice president for North Carolina APCO. I started my career in 911 in 2004 in Castle County with our county's emergency EMS department, which then translated into becoming the 911. I remained there until 2007 when I transitioned over to Rockingham County 911. While there, I served as the telecommunicator and assistant lead until I left in 2015. Essentially came back home to Castle County in 2017. I'm running for this position because I feel that working together with our community and industry partners, we can finally be recognized for what we truly are, first responders. I believe that many doors will finally be able to receive the mental health benefits that other responders have available to them. And speaking of the mental health benefits and mental health in North Carolina, I feel bad if I didn't mention the astounding efforts that our NENA partners have done with their mental health throughout the state, throughout the nation. And I just want to say thank you for everything that you guys have done, and you guys definitely deserve a round of applause for that, so thank you. And I believe that the ever-changing technology is going to better serve our communities, and it's coming no matter what we do and how prepared we are for it. And with the amazing help of our APCO board, I will continue to increase membership numbers, not only across PSAPs to primary and secondaries, but without the help of universities, colleges, and airports and beyond, our industry wouldn't be what we are today without those included. So there's going to be a big membership push to reach out to those organizations as well. I've been married to my wonderful wife, Lindsay, for the past 21 years and made our home in Pella, North Carolina with our 2 boys. Parker just turned 18. We'll be going to Western Carolina in the fall. And Brody, our 13-year-old. I'm excited to be nominated for second vice president and elected. I look forward to serving North Carolina APCO with pride, dedication, and commitment. Thank you.
Our next candidate for second vice president is Samantha Dutch.
Good morning. So I am Samantha Dutch, and I'm thrilled to throw my hat in the ring for the position of second vice president in the North Carolina APCO chapter. With 16 years immersed in the world of emergency communications, my journey has been defined by unwavering dedication and a passion for making a real impact. Currently serving as the director for Scotland County Emergency Communications, my role has been more than a job. It's been a mission. Over the last 4 years, I've had the privilege of steering our operations towards excellence. It's not just about managing emergencies, it's about understanding the heartbeat of our community and ensuring our responses are second to none. For the past 4 years, I've proudly worn the hat of Region E Ambassador for the North Carolina APCO Board. This role has been a labor of love, reinforcing my commitment to the goals of our organization. It's been about being the voice for our region, advocating for the unique needs and challenges that we face. My vision for the North Carolina chapter revolves around the heartfelt motto, uniting all PSAPs for a safer tomorrow. It's not a slogan, it's a promise. I'm determined to expand our horizons, welcoming non-traditional PSAPs like universities, hospitals, and airports into our APCO family. Let's bridge the gaps and build a network that ensures a safer tomorrow for everyone. But beyond inclusivity, my focus is on you, the heartbeat of our chapter. I'm committed to meaningful engagement, giving back, and creating an environment where each member feels valued. It's not just about being present, it's about being there for you, listening and actively addressing your needs. I envision a chapter where transparency is not just a buzzword, but a way of operating. Through open communication and active participation, together we can elevate the North Carolina chapter of APCO to new heights. Let's create a future where safety is not just a goal, but a shared reality for all. I'm excited about the possibilities, and I hope to have your support as we embark on this journey together.
And our final nominee for the day, for second vice president is online, Miss Tangela Walker. Give me just one moment, Tangela. And go.
Good morning. Are we ready?
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
Okay, good morning. My name is Tangela Walker. I am a certified public safety executive. I am a public safety professional. I am an advocate, and I believe in serving in this 911 industry. I am the assistant director of the Durham Emergency Communication Center, and I thank you for the opportunity to introduce myself as a candidate for second vice president of the North Carolina APCO board. My apologies that I cannot physically be present today due to an appointment, but I hope that you can still feel the warmth and commitment virtually. My journey in emergency communications began in November 26, 2001 in Augusta, Georgia. I have been a part of this fantastic industry for 23 years. Throughout my professional journey, I have had the opportunity to accomplish many things, but by far, the most important has been learning the importance of serving. The cool part about serving is that holding a position or having a particular title is not required. Serving only takes the willingness and the desire to share your gifts of skills, knowledge, abilities, and time with others. I have been a member of APCO for approximately 15 years, and I have had the opportunity to volunteer on several committees, including the editorial committee, as well as ProChart. My professional growth opportunities are heavily saturated with the influence of APCO. APCO has taught me the importance of positively impacting and adding value to whatever space I occupy. During my tenure, I have learned the importance of exposure and building networks with colleagues, not just locally, but nationally and internationally. Being a part of the Georgia community of public safety, emergency communications professionals, and leaders taught me the importance of connection, and using that connection to help build community. When I think about community here in North Carolina, it's not just about DECC or Durham. Community includes the PSAPs, emergency response teams, and those we connect with in North Carolina. I want to continue to build opportunities for engagement with our community, you. When I think about the importance of holding a position such as second vice president of the North Carolina APCO board, it is not about authority or popularity. Holding any position, there has to be an understanding of the importance of exposure to our community and exposing our community to others who may need to know or be more familiar with the importance of our local chapters and our national chapter of APCO. The board is a conduit for connection and must continue to build networks. I moved to North Carolina because there was both a challenge and an opportunity for me to make a positive impact. Since moving to North Carolina almost 3 years ago from Georgia, my goals did not change. My goal when I moved here was to always try to make things better for our community. One moment. And for whatever community I am in for this industry as a collective. I have been fairly quiet because I believe that I needed to sit back, observe, watch, learn, and listen and understand the needs of our chapters and our community members. I am proud of the North Carolina APCO board because it holds to the mission of providing leadership and opportunities, influencing public safety communications decisions for government and the industry, promoting professional development, and fostering the development and use of technology for the benefit of the public and our responders. Having the opportunity to serve as second vice president is one of the most important and humbling opportunities that I could have. This allows me to be a part of something bigger than oneself. Representation matters. Having a board that represents all areas of North Carolina in our community is important. My 23 years of experience have allowed me to build subject matter expertise in leadership, management, strategic planning, global communication, cultural awareness, technological advances, and most importantly, having a growth mindset for myself, and more importantly, sowing into others. I am a member of APCO CPE Class 3, woohoo, go Class 3. I hold a master's degree in public administration from North Carolina Central University. I have completed a global internship in Ghana. I have had the opportunity to gain a network of colleagues and mentors and build lifelong friendships because of APCO.
I apologize. We have a limit and we're getting ready to time out for our meeting before moving into NENA. So I would ask if you want to wrap it up with a few sentences, and that would be great.
I'm on the last few. My mission statement is to make things better and better than how I found it by serving, supporting, and leading. I pride myself on accountability, respect for others and myself, integrity, dependability, and excellence. Excellence should not be the exception. Lastly, I thank you in advance for your time, support, and vote. Even if I am not your choice of candidate, that is okay. There's room for all of us to make a positive impact. Please make your vote count. Please let your voice be heard. Again, if you ever need me for anything, I am here. Thank you for your time, support, and consideration, and I hope to receive your vote.
So all of our candidate photos and biographies will be posted by the end of the meeting today to the North Carolina APCO website. And then voting will start on Monday. So you should receive an email with your ballot for those that are voting members of North Carolina APCO. You should receive your ballot on Monday, and please cast your vote. Mr. President, that's it.
Thank you. So before we adjourn, I'd like to introduce Ms. Tansy Hayward, who is the Deputy City Manager of Raleigh, to welcome everybody to Raleigh.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Sorry, I'm running a little late. We were interviewing somebody from out of state, which I know you all know how important recruitment is at this point in time. So thank you for modifying your schedule slightly to allow me to welcome you to Raleigh. So I can't think of a more beautiful setting to convene environment. You're going to have the best day possible. So welcome to Chavis Park. And welcome to the city of Raleigh. So I'm going to be brief because I know you're here mostly to engage with each other. So Tansy Hayward, I'm the Deputy City Manager. I want to welcome you on behalf of the whole city management team and our city council. So hopefully you have some fun while you're here in Raleigh before you leave. I wanted to share a couple of thoughts. So I've been with the city of Raleigh since 2014. I've only been working with our emergency communications center for the last 3 years. So still very much learning about the business that you do. I came from Tacoma, Washington, and worked with our joint Puget Sound joint 911 agency there. So I have some context of really the similarities and differences of this business and the way that different organizational structures and your partners impact your work. So a couple of thoughts just as you jump into your work. So for those of you that work with city managers or assistant city managers, you'll know that largely we think of our role as kind of standing in the gap. We stand, one of my professors talks about from a long time ago, that the role of a city manager is really to step into that gap where what is organizationally practical in terms of performance or implementation meets what is politically feasible. So we kind of stand in that gap to try to make sure that we can build bridges to help our community move forward. And really you and all your staff stand in a similar kind of gap and build similar kinds of bridges. So you're bridging those needs in the moment with the critical responders that need them, and vice versa, making sure that those first responders are getting what they need in the field. So I want to talk about things where I see really your profession uniquely kind of standing in the gap for all of us in terms of new evolving kinds of needs and expectations that are impacting all departments, all public service, but probably uniquely you're leading out in terms of standing in that gap. So, when we think more culturally about the expectations in terms of the role of law enforcement with our community, ultimately you are standing in that gap, helping to see how those systems evolve in terms of dispatch protocols, the kinds of services that are being offered, the way that your centers adapt in terms of resources in your centers to meet those changing expectations. Ultimately, we've had demographic and workforce change that's created vacancies. I know that not only has impacted you uniquely in your ability to recruit and retain, but you see uniquely the way that those same kinds of vacancies, whether that's in law enforcement or in hospitals or in EMS, you see directly those challenges to recruit and retain, impact services, and try to stand in that gap to make sure individuals have clear expectations of the service that they are going to get and get their needs met in the moment. When particularly delivering services probably is more difficult than it has ever been in my 25-year history, just given disruptive impacts really across all of those systems. Again, you all are standing really uniquely in that gap as we see really growing, changing needs in terms of substance use, mental health, and the way that they are causing us to learn and adapt and grow in our systems. And then last, in terms of technological expectations, I think you all are really in a unique place in terms of understanding really what are the changing expectations. This is a place where I think there are lots of we have to think of both and thinkings, because the community has much higher expectations about the way that technology is going to be used, but also has keen suspicion about the way that technology is going to be used. And so again, finding that happy medium as more sensors, as more cameras, as more data and analytics, as AI comes into our environment, and we figure out how do we walk that fine line in terms of creating value, but meeting our community's expectations. And so thank you for standing in the gap for all of us. We're all learning the lessons and will benefit from the innovation that is coming from 911 centers, that is going to benefit other operations. And ultimately, when you stand in the gap, the goal is to build bridges. And so hopefully your time here together, that collective learning, creates those opportunities for you to identify those opportunities for bridging. So thank you for the service that you and all of your staff.
All right, at this time, I will take a motion to adjourn. So moved to the motion. Do I have a second? All right, all in favor? North Carolina APCO adjourns. There are restrooms down this way to the left, 5-6 minutes.
Like that? Like that?
Guys, in the interest of time and trying to get out ahead of the afternoon storms, I think we should probably get started. So I want to welcome everybody to the North Carolina NENA portion of our day. And I'd like to thank all of you for attending and for being here in person, as well as all of those who are online virtually. I'd like to thank Raleigh Wake 911 for hosting us today as well. In this awesome facility. I'd also like to thank all of our commercial partners, and then a special thank you to our 23-24 Diamond sponsors, Carolina Recording Systems, Motorola, AT&T, SBFI, Horizon Console, and the 911 board for sponsoring our lunch today. So I will turn it over to Ashley for roll call.
Good morning, everyone. Chapter President Ryan Chambers.
He's online.
Online, perfect. First Vice President Corinne. Second Vice President Stephen.
Here.
Immediate Past President Jason. Chapter Treasurer Jameson.
Jameson's online.
Perfect. I'm your chapter secretary, Ashley. Western Region Representative Brian. Happy birthday. Central Region Representative Corey Bodie.
Corey's online.
Perfect. Eastern Region Representative Vic.
Not online.
911 Board Representative Ms. Donna Wright. Membership Outreach Director Mitch.
Here.
Commercial Advisory Representative Wes Jones. Western Region Wellness Director Monica Howard. Central Region Wellness Director myself. Media Committee Chair and Technical Advisor Stephen.
Here.
PSAP Liaison Travis Essick. SWIC Liaison Brandy Osborne.
I don't think she's online.
Okay, and TERT Liaison Amanda.
Amanda is online.
Perfect. That is it.
Thank you. And I would like to also recognize or give special recognition, if you could please stand for your accomplishment. NENA Hall of Fame members. NENA past presidents. Emergency number professionals are EMPs. Center Manager Certification Program, CMCP. Time attendees. How many do we have? And then our National NENA board members. Okay, so let's move on. We're going to do a review and approval of the minutes from the previous membership meetings. Those minutes have been posted online. Those have been reviewed. Can I get an approval for those? Motion and a second. Perfect. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and we'll move to the treasurer report. Jameson?
Here, I got it.
Jameson.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
So currently in our Wells Fargo account, we have $2,392.66. In the savings account, we have $3,009.30. In the civic checking account, $11,847.04. Wellness account, $5,485. Money market, $79,554.09. For a total of $102,288.09. And in the 2024 conference account is $63,874.36.
Okay, thank you, Jameson. I will entertain a motion to accept these as presented. Second? And all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. I will move to the president's report. I don't really have a lot this morning. Ryan, I don't know if you have anything, if you'd like to speak. Can you see if you can?
He's not unmuting.
Okay. Okay, we'll move on from that then. And I think the biggest thing for us is that we'd like to just remind everybody about the conference. I know you've already heard that once today and heard a report on that, but yeah, please join us in Wilmington. It'll be an exciting time, and we're super excited about some things we've got planned. So, National NENA report, Ms. Jones.
Thank you, Corinne. So a few updates from National NENA. Our NENA conference is at the Gaylord Palms in Orlando, Florida, from June the 28th to July the 3rd. Registration was supposed to open this week, but they ran into some glitches with the software, so they're hoping to have that up next week. We are happy to announce that we now have over 22,000 members. When I was elected to the board 2 years ago, we were just shy of 20,000. So let's keep growing this membership for NENA. We do have a new EMP in North Carolina from right here at Raleigh Lake. Is Rob Parrish in the room? Okay, well, let me know when he gets back in here. Dominic said he would arrange for him to be here. NENA is accepting the Gold Thin Line Telecommunicator Scholarship applications through midnight tonight. The scholarship is open for any telecommunicator, call taker, or dispatcher with at least 1 year of experience and in good standing with his or her current employer. This scholarship covers the cost of conference registration, 1 pre-conference class, and $1,000 travel stipend. You do not have to be a NENA member to apply. For your EMP certification, start planning now to earn your EMP certification in 2024. You can order the EMP reference manual, now version 6.1, and participate in a study group if you choose. We also have a video podcast series about becoming an EMP on the NENA YouTube page. Voting opens today for the NENA Board of Directors 24-25, second vice president and private sector director positions. There are 3 candidates for second VP and 4 candidates for private sector director. Please make your voice heard by casting your vote. Voting is open until 11:59 p.m. on March the 29th, which is 2 weeks from today. Legislative priorities and governmental affairs. Bills are currently in the House and Senate supporting reclassification of telecommunicators to protected service from clerical. The first time a companion bill has been introduced in the Senate, so we are very hopeful for traction this time around. Our very own North Carolina Senator Bud is a co-sponsor on the bill in the Senate. Next Generation 911 funding bill has been introduced in the House. NENA has 11 committees and 38 working groups, and we are always looking for volunteers for these. You can find out more at nena.org/volunteer. Thank you.
Thank you, Melanie, and I will turn over our North Carolina 911 Board and Legislative report to Ms. Donna Wright.
And as I know you're all aware, we got a wonderful report from Melanie in the APCO. The APCO meeting. One point I want to make on the 911 board is that there is a subcommittee under standards that is working on updating the rules at this point. Committee's moving really well. We're now just getting into section 200, which is the one related to the PSAP operations. So what we're trying to do is match those administrative codes to what the general statute allows us authoritatively, and making sure that aligns with what's going on today. So
we're working through that, and hopefully it'll probably take us most of this year to finish it, but the intent is that it'll be presented to the board, and then it will go through the rules review process for updates that they're required to do every 10 years. So we're trying to clean some of that up. A prime example is with us being on the ESInet now, we don't need some of the old language related to selective routing and other things that are soon going to be changing. So you'll see some terminology changes there. Also, a reminder, next Friday, we will have a 911 board meeting here in Raleigh at 3900 Wake Forest at the 911 board's office. Make sure you either join in online or show up in person. You really need to be engaged to know and understand what's going on the board that impacts you. So, and you can also have an opportunity to speak during public comments as well. But that's all I have for the board. If you want me to continue with the legislative. All right, so next up, let's talk about Washington. We had a ball, didn't we, Neil? We did some good work up there. There was a big group of folks that came from North Carolina delegation. A lot were first-time attendees. Folks, plan next year. You really need to be part of this event. That is my favorite by far of any event, NENA or APCO, because it is where your true voice and advocacy hits the ground and makes a difference. And we did have great meetings, as you heard Melanie mention. Senator Budd, who is really advocating not just as a co-sponsor, but he is also the co-leader of the 911 caucus. So North Carolina is really moving, as well as Richard Hudson on the representative side. They're advocating those things that we need in our industry. The other thing is, we were at a congressional breakfast, and I was very proud to see my partner in crime, Ms. Melanie Jones, up there presenting Senator Budd with a challenge point for his advocacy work for 911. And he called North Carolina out in front of all these folks to tell what we've accomplished here and what hasn't been accomplished. And we're an example of why our country needs this funding. And he talked about every person in this room and what we do as a state. So legislatively, you've heard that we got the companion mules and therefore reclassification. Reach out with your leadership in your county or your city and make your voice heard that you want your representative to support this, because that's the grassroots effort that's going to make this change. We're on the cusp. We can feel a change coming, so we need to keep pushing it over the edge until you are all recognized as the true first responders that you are. But I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Donna. Any questions for her? Okay, hearing none, I'll move to Commercial Advisory Council update from Wes.
Hey, good morning. Gary covered the items, but we wanted to elaborate on one piece. For those who have not been to the conference before, in the last couple of years, is speed dating. And so what that is to go around to each of the vendors, and the vendors get an opportunity to give their elevator pitch. Just 2 minutes. They can move from booth to booth during that time frame and get information on each vendor. When you do register for the conference as a, and if you that, you will have access to the vendor hall during that time. Also, just to kind of alleviate any concerns, the program is being set up in such a way that there will be no leadership or technology tracks during that time frame. So the sessions during the kind of speed dating will be just mainly for frontline telecommunicators. So just kind of wanted to expand on that, and if you're not aware of it, but make sure that when you do register, if you are a admin leader in your PSAP, to make sure that you indicate that in your registration process so that you can be identified as a decision maker on your ID badge and have access to the exhibit hall during that time. That's all I got.
I'm gonna say one thing about the speed dating. Remember, the vendors are the ones that make the conference possible. So please show them love and attend the speed dating.
So we'll move to SWIC update or report. I know Brandy is on a well-deserved vacation day, so we're gonna check in with Amanda and see if she has anything for SWIC or for chart report.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Amanda Winans. For the SWIC, we are, again, just reminding everybody about the TDMA compliance push for the end of this year, going live with it completely July 1 of next year. So if you're unsure if your radios are TDMA compliant, please reach out to your radio shop or whomever handles that. And additionally, the 24-hour watch is moving towards the rules within the Viper required template for all Viper radios on the system, where we are encouraging and pushing people who are requesting state event talk groups to use Dipper talk groups first, which are assigned to the 3 branches, the regional branches of the state. With that, we are pushing for everyone to check their radios to make sure that their system and their portables are upgraded to the required Viper template that came out a few years ago for those radios that are accessing the Viper system. That's it for the SWIC portion. And tying the SWIC and TERT and INTD together. Just a reminder that we do have that full-scale comms exercise, the Comms Nexus, that is the first weekend of April, the 4th through the 7th. That has changed locations. It's now going to be in Burke County. We are requesting participants to be trained communications personnel, whether it's the INTD TERT or ITSL, which is your IT communications unit leader, communication technician, the CommT, CommL, as well as auxiliary communications or your AUXCOM. For anybody who's still training in those positions and have open position task books, we are requesting that if you want to register, that you have a mentor that will be attending. So anybody looking to get that training or already have signed task books looking to get more advanced training as well, we are still accepting applications for that. Again, it's the Comms Nexus, and it is the first weekend of April. And that is it for SWIC and TERT.
Thank you very much, Amanda. We'll move on to committee reports, and we'll turn it over to Mitch for membership committee report.
A whole lot to report here other than reminding everybody, it's well into the year now. So if you're not updated or have updated your memberships, the group rate, take advantage of it to use those for training and everything else. There's a lot of benefits there. So that's all I've been doing since the New Year's is the centers I've been visiting, is reminding everybody. I know you get a lot of emails, a lot of other stuff throughout the day, short staffed, everything. So just a general reminder there.
Thank you, Mitch. And we'll move to Wellness Committee. Ms. Ashley.
Hey, good morning, everyone. So we had our 2024 Wellness Retreat in Corolla in January. We have 15 attendees from across North Carolina, ranging from frontline telecommunicators also to directors. There was an on-site clinician the whole week who is available for the attendees at any time. Again, this event proved to be another life-changing experience. Y'all heard how our first one went. This was our second one, and it was even better. We actually have an attendee here today who would like to speak about their time spent. Stephen.
Morning. Good morning. My name's Stephen Sigmund. I'm the director from Alamance County 911. I attended the retreat. It's been 49 days and about 2 hours since leaving the retreat. First off, I'd like to thank NENA, all the partners involved, Ashley, Corinne, Jameson, Jason, Monica, Ryan, Winston, and Jace for the event. Previously, I was a little bit hesitant on going, and just kind of my mindset before going was it's just part of the job. Suck it up. We as leaders, we can't show weakness, and we can't show vulnerability because that's showing weakness. ignoring feelings. So all that's been thrown in the trash can, after going through and learning and seeing where I'm at today. So right before I went to treat, I'm not gonna lie, I was broken, overwhelmed with life, personally, professionally, burned out, and even having a guilty feeling for being burned out. But I left everything on the field. I went there. I was vulnerable. Guys usually don't cry, but I probably cried more in 4 days than I've cried in the previous 20 years. And currently, through all the classes and the teachings that we learned, the overwhelming feeling that I've had has decreased. I've been able to pinpoint areas in my life, both professionally and personally, that need immediate attention. Nothing is fixed overnight. And it is a process, and it is a slow process. But I believe the true process to become better is the path that's less taken, because it is the hardest path to take. Some of the take backs. It's okay not to be okay. I know we've heard that previously. Death by 1,000 cuts. It may not be the one call or the one situation that you've had. It may be over and over and over again. And then another thing, realizing that there are resources out here for our line of work that I did not know were out there previously. And I wish I had known going through different things in my life. But I know they're there now, and I've shared that with my staff. And another thing I'm trying to give, like my dad used to say, if anybody's ever heard me tell a story, it takes a long time, but I'm giving you the Reader's Digest version like he always told me to do. So one thing, in telling my story, and everybody has their own story, you realize that your story is connected with so many others, and there's so many similarities, which creates an everlasting bond. I will say, leaving the retreat, I have 14 lifelong friends. I have, in addition to the staff, I know that I have a bigger circle than I thought. The tools and the teaching that I've learned, I'm still applying every day to be the best version of myself, because we can't help anybody else if our cup is overflowing or if our cup is empty. I think the rest of the country could take a page out of North Carolina NENA's wellness retreat. I think it is great, and as leaders, not because your title, if you see somebody struggling, reach out, because there are resources and we can give people help. We try to be reactive, but we have an opportunity to be proactive. 2 words that I guess I would describe: life-changing and amazing with this group. I'm indebted. I feel indebted to you for being able to allow me to come. Very fortunate, and that's all I have. I appreciate the time.
And congratulations, Stephen. You just recently completed the ICISF course. We will be pushing out more courses that are coming up. If anyone else is interested, those are classes that are required for you to be a peer support member, or even just to be able to do it in your own agencies. So if you want any more information, feel free to email us or get in touch with us and speak with us. We are changing locations next year to a house that's more accommodating for our attendees, our help, and just the overall experience. The retreat will be held the week of January 26th, 2025. So mark your calendars. We will be pushing out. We're going to take a little bit of time off before planning the next one, but we're already in the midst of getting that settled. But in regards to the Wellness Committee and Peer Support Team, we have had 2 deployments in the last 30 days. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Ashley, and thank you, Stephen. And I will say, having been there for the first time this past year, as much as Stephen talks about us being, in front of them and offering what we did to them, the attendees were certainly a blessing to us as part of this industry as well. So it does go both ways. So I do encourage you to look at it as it rolls around next year. I want to move to the awards committee report. And just as a reminder, awards nominations for the 2024 North Carolina Public Safety Communications Conference, those close this coming Friday, a week from today. And I encourage everyone to nominate your staff, commercial partners, anyone who makes a difference in this industry throughout the last year. The list of our award categories are found on our website, and if your agency or staff members are winners, then they do not need to be in attendance to receive that award, but we will give that recognition to them, well deserved. So if you have not already done so, please do that soon. And I will turn it over to Jason for nominations committee report.
All right. We are certainly conscious of the time, and we'll try to keep this as brief as we can. As you guys know, just like you saw earlier in APCO's meeting, each year we have nominations and open call for nominations for chapter officers for the various vacancies or offices that are coming up to the end of their current term each year. So this year we had open call for nominations open through February 22nd for the offices of Eastern Region Representative, Western Region Representative, Chapter Treasurer, Second Vice President, and a special election this year for First Vice President. That election is being held concurrently with our offices that normally come up, and just in line with our bylaws and the National Association's bylaws, policies, and practices. Anytime that there is a appointed person or an interim person serving as one of the presidents of the association, which would really be second VP is kind of the only place for that. We have a special election process that has to occur to ensure that the folks that are moving through that track have actually been elected by the chapter's membership and isn't just an appointed person moving up to be chapter president. So with that, we had an open call for nominations. We asked folks to submit a nominations form with a little bit of information about themselves, along with a letter of intent to introduce themselves and a letter of support from their agency. So similar to what you saw in the previous hour, we're now going to give our candidates just a couple of minutes to introduce themselves and say a word or two about their candidacy if they would like to. So we're going to start off with our Western Region Representative. We just have the one candidate running unopposed, who is our incumbent, Mr. Bradshaw.
So good morning, I guess. Yeah, so Brian Drum, I've got 25 years of telecommunicator experience. I'm the 911 communications manager for Watauga County. We'll keep it real short. I really enjoy being able to tell each and every one of you about what happens in the western part of the state. We don't have as much travel to the central as a lot of the others do, so I just appreciate the opportunity to spread the word from the west to the rest of the state.
Thanks, Brian. All right, next up is our Eastern Region Representative. We did receive 2 nominations for this office. One of those nominations was withdrawn. And so I would like to call up Ms. Kim Lewis from Brunswick County, SA.
Good morning. I'm not a public speaker, so I'll apologize right off the bat. Isn't that right, Tom Rogers? So my name is Kim Lewis. I am with the Brunswick County Sheriff's Office 911 Center. I have been with Brunswick County for 25 years. I started my career as a part-time telecommunicator in September of 1998, and in December of that year, I went on full-time. In that time, I have gone from assistant supervisor to supervisor to manager and then now director. During that time, we've had some pretty significant changes. One that included going from emergency services to under the sheriff's office, which is a pretty traumatic experience, but it has overall been very good. In 2020, I went through the PSAP managers training through Richmond Community College. And then most recently last year, I went through the CMCP class, yes, in March of 23. So I was a little surprised when I received a call about the nomination, but after much thought and prayer, I ultimately decided that it was a good fit for me. So I look forward to serving with NENA and getting familiar in that position and working alongside these folks and getting to know some of our partners in the Eastern region. Thank you.
Alrighty, thank you. Our next office up for election this year is the office of chapter treasurer. We also received 2 initial nominations for this, one of which was withdrawn. So we have our incumbent Jameson Sears.
Jameson John.
She's still showing online but not responding. Okay.
Jameson, we can come back to you if you want here in a minute. Oh, she's talking, but we can't hear. Okay. You're showing muted, Jameson. I don't know if you're able to try again to unmute.
She may need to leave the meeting and try to come back.
All right, for the sake of time, we'll move on, and if she's able to get back where we can hear, we'll come back to her. All right, next up, we have 2 folks for the office of second vice president. With us here today is Travis Essick from Hardin County SO.
So I'm really gonna keep this short because now there's food back there. So I'm Travis Essick, the communications manager for the Hardin County Sheriff's Office. I started in emergency services in 2010 at 18 years old. And then moved to communications. I left for a couple years, went to the private sector. During my time in communications, I served as telecommunicator, trainer, systems administrator, and now the manager for the Sheriff's Office. 3 things that are important to me is mental health and wellness. I also attended the wellness retreat. And if you have the opportunity to go to that, please do. Stephen described it in one word: it is life-changing. The other thing is staffing and retention. We all know that staffing is an issue across the country and communications. So that's the other thing that, and then reclassification of public safety. Those are the 3 things that are top priority for me. A little bit about me personally in my spare time. I have 2 dogs that I enjoy spending time with and love to travel. So I'm hopeful for the nomination, and I appreciate your vote.
All right, this time I'm gonna come around, not because I'm running, but see where Winston goes to. Also on our list for second VP is Lisa Kosiolek from Raleigh-Wake. She unfortunately had to leave before we could get to this section in our meeting today for another meeting. So I'm just gonna read a brief statement from her on her behalf. She said, "Sorry I couldn't stick around to introduce myself. My name is Lisa Kosiolek, and I'm the training coordinator for Raleigh-Wake ECC. I've been in 911 for 15 years now, 10 in the south suburbs of Chicago. I moved to Raleigh almost exactly 5 years ago, and it was the best decision that I've. In the last 5 years, I've had the opportunity to participate in multiple committees within our center, and currently have the privilege of teaching the training academy here at Raleigh-Wake." She says, "A short list of my certifications in education include a double major in BS in Law Enforcement Justice Administration and BS in Psychology. She's a certified training officer from APCO, a North Carolina General Instructor and Orientation Instructor certified. She was the 2021 City of Raleigh Employee of the Year for the ECC. And she says that she is supposed to take the ETC instructor course next month and the EMP exam this summer. So wish her luck with her brain power. She is encouraging her coworkers to do the same and attempting to organize a study group together. She concludes by saying, in all of this time and with all the certifications I've accumulated over my career, I'm looking for a chance to do more for 911. Somewhere early on in those 15 years, I fell in love with it. I've been allowed to be a voice for my center under different roles on committees as well as public education events. I currently am not with you because I'm doing an educational event at a school. The City of Raleigh has given me the honor of being a voice for 911 for the Raleigh Wake Emergency Communication Center, and I'm now asking for you all for the same opportunity on a bigger scale. Thank you so much for your consideration. All right, and our final office again is the special election for the office of First Vice President, where we have 2 candidates. So we'll start first with Mr. Stephen Smith from Iredell County.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Stephen Smith. I'm with Iredell County now for almost 4 years. I started out on the floor as a telecommunicator for about 10 months, moved up to the IT role under Scott Nedlock, which many of y'all might know. He's our system admin. I've followed Candy and Scott and them around to these conferences for 3 years now, roughly. I've supported this board for 2 of those years. So what I've learned so far from this board is that they are very passionate, not just the wellness that everyone hears about, but in the legal realm for the 911 board and making the telecommunicators reclassified. I would like to continue supporting this board. I do so in many facets besides the current interim second VP. So please vote for me. Again, my name is Stephen Smith with Iredell County. Thank you.
All right, and last but certainly not least is our final candidate for office this year, Travis, or as most people know him as TJ Wilkerson from Richmond County.
Yes. So I've got to keep this short as well. So like Jason mentioned, I do go by TJ, so feel free to call me that. A little bit about me personally. I've been married to my beautiful wife for going on 16 years now. If anybody wants to share that I mentioned about her. Thank you. And but we have 3 beautiful, wonderful boys. I'm very proud of them. My oldest is about to turn 15 and start driving, so it's the gray hair that's starting to show up every now and again. But I've been involved in emergency services now with Richmond County for going on my 15th year. And starting from the ground up as a telecommunicator, I came in, and the one thing that I initially kind of came in, I didn't really see it as a career and wasn't exactly sure, I feel like most of us, where that pathway was going to take me. And I quickly fell in love with it. I love being a part of the backbone of public safety and having an opportunity to be able to support all of our first responders, but also the individuals within the PSAP as well. And to get to have that opportunity on a much larger level, I do value it and cherish it. And I will say that when I first came into it, I often seen myself sitting across the table of many different people such as yourselves, even the dispatchers that I came into the room with that had so much more knowledge and training and experience than I did. And so I often kept myself reserved. I didn't say too much, and I just wanted to learn from the others around me. And it was because of that I started to engage myself to hopefully try to learn to have my own voice. It wasn't long before spending time in conferences and gathering training such as PSAP manager certification, CMCP, and so on, that I started to realize that slowly I was becoming the person on the other side of the table when all these new telecommunicators would come in. And if I could leave them with anything, and the same with each of you, is that we do have a voice, and that voice matters. And that's my goal, because when I first started getting involved and seeing what NENA was doing, they called themselves the voice of 911. And that resonated a lot with me. I would like to be able to continue to push the same across this entire state with all of our telecommunicators, that we do have a voice. That voice matters, not only locally, but statewide and nationally as well. Between the core values that NENA represents, the policies, pushing legislation, and so on, I want to be able to continue that the same, working alongside of our board and many members such as yourself. So thank you for your time, consideration, proud to even be up here to be nominated. So.
Thank you to everyone who has participated in this process and for your interest in serving. As many of you know, as I look out, I see lots of faces that have served in various board positions over the years. This is something that we all give our free time to, that takes a lot of work, especially when it comes to conference time and various things like that. A lot of us don't always realize, we feel like, how much commitment and work exactly it does take to make this show go on. So a big kudos to everyone from both the APCO and the NENA side today who has stood up here and announced their candidacy for office. We thank you for your willingness to give your time, support, and energy into these associations that really do have the opportunity to make such a difference for everybody, both in their personal lives and their professional lives, as you've gotten to hear a little bit about today. So now that that's done, electronic ballots will be distributed to NENA members later today. I encourage everyone, both on the APCO and the NENA side, to please participate in both elections if you're a member of both associations, but certainly if you're a member of either association, please participate in the election process both at the state and the national level. It's typical in elections out in the general public with government elections, about 10%-ish of our total memberships, both at the national level and the state level, typically participate in that. Please have your voice heard and participate in this process, and please consider joining us up here next year as well if you haven't already. So ballots will be coming out. They'll be open for 30 days and will close on April 14th. As the elections for the offices of Eastern Region, Western Region, Treasurer are unopposed, those folks will be elected by acclamation, so you won't see a ballot out for them, but you will see a ballot out for first vice president and second vice president. Those ballots will be distributed to you individually by email to the membership roster email address with National NENA. So whatever your email address is on your National NENA profile, we're going to download that list later this afternoon, and that is where your ballot will go. So if you need to change that, please go right back to your office right now and change it today. All right, that's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. And I believe Rob Parrish is back in the room. Would like to recognize him for his E&D accomplishments. Okay, I think that's all. If we just want to make sure, does anyone have any questions or comments for this board or from this board? Okay, hearing none, I will take a motion to adjourn. Motion, and I'll take a second.
Second.
All in favor? You guys have a great afternoon. Be safe going home. There's lunch at that.
Yes.